Okay, so I'm just gonna hop into it, because this is the easiest way to do this.
Yeah.
Are you gonna stare at me the whole time, y'all?
I was planning on looking at the room. We are sitting in a room together.
That's true. Okay,
That's
let me back
also
up
the
a
point
little.
of this, because you can be like, hello.
McCree!
Let me show you my presentation.
Okay.
Good stuff.
As you guys can tell, I have 2 guests today. Yay! Angel is out due to some personal stuff, and we figured this was a good chance to actually have guests. And yes, you heard correctly, I have 2 guests!
2.
Why didn't you guys...
Meow, pow, pow, pow.
I don't know, how about we introduce yourself, and then give me your favorite game, or one of your favorite games, too.
Oh man, I feel like I'm back in school. It's like
we're playing Icebreakers.
How much does a polar bear weigh? Enough to break the ice.
Alright.
Anyways.
Introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Olivia. Favorite games, probably Bioshock. Or Animal Crossing.
Yeah, that's fair. Olivia and I have known each other for 5 years?
Almost 6 now.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Ooh. Oh god.
Starting out strong. Alright. You guys have known each other quite a while now.
Yeah.
Will that help? We'll see later on. So you're gonna get grilled.
Probably. It's okay. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yes, I am David. I like Star Wars. That may come up later. Spoilers.
I like the good old Star Wars.
I like to go watch a Star Wars now and again.
Just one Star Wars.
Just a Star Wars.
Just a Star Wars.
One single one.
Just one Star Wars.
Now,
so
which
yes,
war, though? We might cover that later too.
Okay. Foreshadowing.
One of the Star Wars.
One of the Star Wars. So yeah, we are going to do basically our normal show, just with a little more spice. That's what's going on today. So normally we do. I'm sure. I don't think David's listened to the podcast in a very, very long time. And
Yeah,
Olivia, I don't think you've ever really listened to it.
It was definitely near the beginning for me, the first 10 or so.
You were like the test audience where I was like, hey, do you want to listen to this? Tell me if it sounds like awful.
It sounds like
God, I sound like a terrible friend now.
But so basically what we do in the beginning is we kind of go over our highs and lows for the past week. I guess now that we're bi-weekly, if anything comes up in the past couple weeks, we usually start with lows and then we work up to highs, but just give me one low and one high for the last like week or two, and then we usually hop into it. So
why don't you start and like show the class
okay.
how it's done?
Yeah.
Okay, class. So I would say my low was probably the heart incident. I had a heart scare, but I am good now. And then my high is that I actually just recently started a new job that I used to work at a long time ago, and I won't tell anybody because I don't want them to figure out where I work. But but it's a very good thing to move to the job that I have now, and I'll be at home, so I'll be much safer. And that's my lows and highs. All right, Olivia, what were your lows and highs?
I would say for lows, probably the stress of studying for a teacher certification exam, and highs, having a lot of crochet projects to work on that I'm excited about.
That's true. I'll have to see if we can post some of your newest works on our website.
There's a lot.
I mean, there's a lot, and there's a lot that would be awesome to share, like the ghost and the piranha plant stuff that I think people would like. So
all the nerdy stuff.
Do you want to plug your Instagram? Your craft Instagram?
Sure, I'll take a shameless plug. My art Instagram is Olivia's_oddities.
Yeah, and it's spelled exactly the way you think it would be. Yep, essentially.
No weird spellings.
What are your lows and highs, David?
God, I mean, I dropped like the last bite of some food the other day. That was pretty low.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Was it a Wawa pretzel?
maybe.
Oh.
I might have stubbed my toe while doing it, but
That's unfortunate.
for high, I had that pretzel.
Oh my god.
That was pretty good. No, I saw a friend, one of my best friends. We got to hang out, watch stuff, and talk about guitars and electronics. It was fun. He's a fucking nerd, so
Yeah, there you go.
nerding it up.
It was fun because we don't get to see him often.
No, not nearly as much as we should.
I think those are both good lows and highs.
Okay, well now
Now
we can
we're
get
good.
talk about creepy stuff. Ooh, spooky.
Okay, perfect. I'm not
Set
gonna
the
look at you
mood.
guys,
Oh,
and I don't
yes.
want you to look at my screen
Okay.
until.
Just looking at all the spoilers over there.
Yeah, I don't want you to look at the spoilers, so
we
don't
just
look
have
at my
to look
screen.
into each other's eyes. It's okay.
There you go.
I'll look into the screens of your soul.
You guys are dating, so it's not that weird. Okay, so what I'm going to be talking to you two about today, have you guys heard of Ed and Loraine Warren?
No.
No? Ed and what?
Ed and Loraine Warren.
Rain Warren.
Lorraine.
Lorraine Warren. Okay, well, like, we're in the same room. That, like, double
Ed
audio
and
track is a real
Loraine
bitch.
Warren. Have you guys seen The Conjuring? Or The Conjuring 2? Or Annabelle?
No.
Not a
But you're aware of
spooky
it,
movie.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, you both
Yes.
are aware
I've
of
seen
it.
trailers, yeah.
So the couple in that movie, they're a like ghost fighting paranormal duo. They are real people. They are not just in the movies. They are real life
Oh,
people.
so this is like those paranormal stories they used to have on like shitty TV. They're like these people who go in and exorcise the demons,
Basically.
get their sage and their little like lamp that shakes back and forth.
She holds her lamp in the night,
No,
calling to the ghosts. Yes.
smells like ass in that place for the next week. Okay.
I know that a lot of people don't like the smell of sage. But yes, Ed and Loraine Warren are real people. And when you do finally, hopefully, watch The Conjuring and Conjuring 2 and all that, it'll make a little bit more sense after what I've told you guys today. So, Ed and Loraine Warren at this point, unfortunately, have passed away, but they were a part of the community for a really, really long time.
Did the ghost get them?
Some might say. No, they were just old.
So now they're the ghost. Gotcha.
Ed and Loraine Warren, they actually were born in the 20s, and Ed Warren passed away in 2006, and then Loraine Warren actually passed away in 2019. She was 92 and he was 79.
God
so
damn.
they lived full lives.
Yeah.
They lived.
Fucking old, yeah.
That's a lot of ghost busting
They're
in
gonna
that
make
time.
really creepy ghosts.
Yeah.
They're gonna be
already old.
professionals.
They're melting.
You're like,
They're-
we already know how to do all this.
they lasted a very long time, and they were in the field for a very, very long time. It wasn't something that they did just for a small part of their lives. They were a part of it for a long time. It is said that Loraine had kind of like psychic-esque powers. So she believed that she could communicate with the dead, she could help them pass on, all of this kind of stuff. And
She's gonna read your palm, look at the fancy, cards and tell you your future.
Ed, he actually grew up in a haunted house as a kid, and he believed that it helped him kind of hunt ghosts and everything. I just realized Eric was playing Destiny, and it freaked me out. That was
Being a
really
little
funny.
sneaky boy.
Oh my
The
god.
computer's alive. We've summoned the ghost.
It scared me because I was talking about ghosts, and then all of a sudden I saw like scrolling.
The computer's
That
possessed.
happens a lot. The first time that ever happened, I was talking about this really terrifying story, and all of a sudden the computer was moving, and I was like, "It's here." Anyways, Ed, he claimed himself to be a self-taught ghost hunter since he grew up in this haunted house, and he thought that it kind of helped him understand hauntings and ghosts and all this stuff. He said that his house was specifically really haunted in dark spaces. He was afraid to look in closets and mirrors. He experienced cold temperature drops, footsteps, breathing, all that kind of stuff that you would normally expect, especially it's like if he was playing Phasmophobia in his real life.
This is when he was a kid?
When he was a
I
kid.
think that's just
Yeah.
what being a kid is, right?
Ghosts in your
No,
closet?
it's shit being scary.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's
Wow,
true.
the
That's
dark.
true.
That's terrifying. Turns out it is, kid. The dark's
Yeah.
fucking scary.
Eventually, he did realize that he wanted to do this like full time, and they kind of just fell into it as they got older. Ed and Loraine Warren met pretty young. Loraine said that when she was younger, she saw people's auras and thought that it was like a calling to see people on the other side or something. They both were devout Catholics, both of them, which isn't that unusual considering they both like were born in the early 1900s. It's not that unusual to be devout
They have
Catholics at this
Makes
God-fearing
sense.
ghosts
They did had God-fearing ghosts.
and Bible Belt ghosts.
But yeah, so once she got older, she kind of hid that she could see things because she thought people would make fun of her. So she kind of just laughed off and just didn't really tell people what she was seeing. Eventually, later on during World War II, Ed actually survived a naval attack, and he believes it was because of a guardian angel.
Is he doing body shots in the the naval assault? There's so
Oh
many
my
of
God.
them. Oh my god.
After he left World War II, he actually married Lorraine because he was on leave at the time. And I mean, if you survive literally almost dying a naval attack, I feel like you're like, shit, I gotta get my life together. So he married Lorraine. Her weird psychic talents aside, he could have just been like, wow, that lady's crazy.
You're crazy, but I love you.
But I love you, lady. I'm
I've
gonna
seen
marry
that
you.
episode of Cops. I know you're saying that one.
Oh my god. So later on, they did sell paintings, they visited haunted houses all around New England. These were simpler times, so they didn't have to make a ton of money. I'm sure he got paid for being in the Navy, and they actually did visit a lot of supernatural hotspots and paranormal places. I think she was just testing her abilities. She wanted to see how far it could go.
Seeing if she's reached her full power yet.
She's seeing what level, from a scale of 1 to 10, how far she was at that point.
She's like Super
How mu-
Saiyan at
I was
this
gonna
point.
say, like, how much Saiyan are you? Is your hair just like a little bit, or is it like Saiyan 5, where it's down to
Is she
your
going to
ass?
Super
Yeah,
Saiyan
exactly.
God, you know?
You guys have heard of the Amityville horror, right? Or the
Yeah.
Amityville house?
Yes.
Yeah,
They
Yes.
actually were a part of that. I
Nice.
think that was their first ever job, actually.
Ooh.
So this took place in the 1970s. If you guys watch The Conjuring, then it would make more sense. But there's so much. We're gonna have to watch it all together because there are some. I think The Conjuring 2 is better than The Conjuring 1. That is personal opinion. But
You're a sequel kind of person.
so the sequel is so much better than the first one, and I don't know how to. You guys are just gonna have to watch it and tell me if you actually think it's better or not.
Okay.
Try to
But
get
We'll
to
be the
it.
judge of it.
yeah.
We'll judge your
We're gonna
movie
judge
taste.
your work here today. This
And then
class
you're gonna
has
be
real
like,
world applications.
To give you kind of a background on the Amityville house, the Amityville house is in New York, and so in 1974, Ronald DeFeo Jr. killed his whole family in a Long Island house, and a little later, a family moved in. I'm assuming because the property was probably stupid cheap after a guy killed his entire family.
Yeah, stupid
That's
cheap
fair.
in Long Island.
Yeah,
That's a
exactly.
good reason to move in. Somebody died here. What? How much? Was
Yeah,
it?
exactly.
Okay.
But it's on the island?
And it's
Like actually,
they're like, is the bloodstains out? Okay, we're good.
guys replaced the carpets, right?
Did you repaint yet? Okay, good. So, a little later, when the family had moved in, they started having issues. The family complained of all of the normal things you would expect in a paranormal instance, cold spots, things moving. But it wasn't just ghosts. They were scared that a demon was haunting their house because, like, the instances were becoming very aggressive, which would make sense considering a man killed his entire family in the house.
Yeah,
That's some bad juju right there.
it's just an angry home.
Eventually, they did ask Lorraine to come in and Ed as well to kind of get a feel for the place to see if they could possibly help this family. They kind of fell into it. I think they had heard about it through a family friend who brought them into the house to see what they could do to help this family, because this family's like, we bought this stupid cheap house and now we can't even live in it. So
Hey, like you got some sage?
yeah, exactly.
Bring that my way.
Also, we love a supportive family that supports weird jobs.
Yeah, right.
They're like, you do ghosts? We got jobs for you. Did
We got
Yeah,
jobs
man.
for you.
I can find some ghosts for you.
you ever watch Danny Phantom? Okay.
Just you.
No, I
Sorry.
watched Danny Phantom. Sorry.
Okay, thank you,
Yeah,
Janelle. Thank
sorry,
you. Thank you.
I'm the
Remember the
old one
box
here.
ghost.
I loved Danny Phantom, okay? They need to bring it back.
They do.
What was it about?
Butch Hartman, if you're listening,
Was it
bring
about
back Danny
Danny and
Phantom.
Phantoms?
Bring back Danny Phantom.
Was he a phantom? Wait, was it about him and phantoms, or
No,
was
he
he
was a
a phantom
Him
phantom.
and
himself?
Phantoms.
He could turn into a
He was a
ghost.
phantom.
He'd be going
That
ghost,
was my
and then
other
he
one.
would
Okay.
turn
He's
into a
Okay.
ghost.
He's really never seen Danny Phantom.
That
Ah.
hurts me. That hurts 10-year-old
He's
me.
like the boy who
'cause
turns
he's
into
old.
like a green monster, but it's not Beast Boy.
He
It's
doesn't
Danny
turn
Phantom.
green.
He does not turn green. He gets white hair. He gets glowing green eyes and
white hair.
It's in the theme song.
How could you fuck it up like this,
God damn it.
David?
I'm failing here.
Oh my god. So the case was about George and Kathy, who claimed their house was haunted. They eventually couldn't inhabit the home, so they brought them in. Later on, people were saying that this case was a hoax. They believed that the couple was trying to get attention, which you would expect, right? That's how most they wind up writing off all those things as hoaxes anyway. So, but they did come in to do that, so that was their start. Later on, after getting notability and fame after exploring the Amityville house, they did move on to Enfield, which is in the UK and is the basis for The Conjuring 2. Have you guys ever heard of the Enfield Poltergeist?
The Enfield Poltergeist?
Yes.
No.
So the
Don't
whole
think so.
case is, I guess I'll just read this partly. I've seen the movie so many times. That movie is terrifying. Conjuring 2 is way worse than Conjuring 1. But
You guys are so weird. Why do you like so much spooky stuff? It's like you fall
Childhood
asleep to the
trauma.
sound of screaming, and you're like, ah, yes, my soul is soothed.
there's people that listen to like the murder podcast while they go to sleep. So
I mean, that's not as weird. You're talking about.
I don't know.
weirdos.
It
You're
doesn't
not
faze me
watching
anymore.
weirdos.
I don't know. I just fall asleep. It doesn't bother me.
Do
There are
those guys
times.
scream in their podcast?
You're like,
Oh.
as she stabbed the man 37
Yeah,
times.
exactly.
You're like,
Yeah, it's just a
snuggling
little,
up.
Good
it's
night.
a little
Good night.
ASMR action. And the knife went into her chest.
The little stabbing noises.
I mean, that may be a
Shanking.
niche market we need to tap into.
Oh, yeah.
ASMR like
Murder.
murder.
Dude,
Yeah.
you just stab me and we'll record.
That's for
Yeah.
psychopaths.
It doesn't have to be your chest. It could be like
There's
your
a lot of
thigh. I
psychopaths
mean, we
out
can go
there.
somewhere it's not.
He's like, don't worry, I'm bleeding out, but we're gonna finish the recording. We're gonna
It's
finish
okay.
the recording. Let's keep
It's
going.
alright. I got a lot of fat in my gut. I don't think I'll die from
It's got to be
a
authentic.
flesh wound.
Oh my god.
Are we going for something important now?
Where was I? Oh, so the Enfield Poltergeist was actually in Enfield, London, England between 1977 and 1979, and it actually involved two sisters. And the family was having issues with essentially what you would expect from a poltergeist. They were both very aggressive. They were having bouts of like weird voices where both of their voices would go very, very deep. There's pictures of them levitating, which have also been considered possibly a hoax because it kind of looks like they just jumped off their beds and then someone like took a picture of them. There's actually voice recordings of the kids doing the deep voice.
That's some spooky stuff.
I will have to
Ooh.
like show you guys after, but the voice
Yeah.
recordings are very creepy and they put them in the movie too.
Are they like Reagan-esque? Like when she
Worse.
gets like, oh,
Absolutely worse. Like
okay.
it's kind of hard, like as someone that might not automatically be like, oh, I think possessions are real. For the time period that it is,
Shit was creepy.
it was creepy. For the
Yeah.
time period, it's in the 70s and it's recorded on something that you can't alter super well.
Right. It's
And
not
the-
like now.
Yeah, and the fact that it's a tiny 9-year-old and a tiny 11-year-old that you're like, how the fuck are they doing that?
Oh,
It would be very difficult.
She's gonna be a death metal singer.
You can just do that now.
They're
Right?
close. I mean, that's like big in Sweden.
Hey,
Uh,
you know what? That could be something. Possession music, just get possessed and then start singing. There you go.
There you go.
Pretty
So
metal.
the case basically started with Peggy Hodson, which was the single parent of the kids. She had rented her home and she claimed that she had witnessed like furniture moving around, that two of her children 2 of her 4 children heard knocking on walls. Oh, here's the children's names. Margaret, who is age 13, and Janet, who is age 11. They actually called the police at one point because they didn't know what else to do because furniture was moving around. I don't know why you would be like, I'm gonna call the police. But they did.
Yeah, I would just go to the police. I was like, get me the fuck away from that shit.
Bring them in.
You guys go
The
check it
thing-
out. I'm gonna hang out in the station for the night.
Right? The thing that makes me laugh, though, if the ghosts or the poltergeist, whoever, is like, fuck your furniture and just starts moving your shit. What if they think you have terrible taste in design? What if they just don't like
What
the
if they're
layout?
like, wow,
Like,
I want their dining room chair to be in this room. I feel like it brings the room together.
yeah.
And they're
What
like,
if he's doing you a favor? He's honestly doing you a favor.
Why
and you're
was
like,
every
"Oh."
goddamn ghost raised in a barn too? They open all the fucking cabinet doors and don't shut them. Every goddamn movie.
every single ghost doesn't know how to put
They're like
things
drawers.
away.
All these drawers. Like what? What?
Close the drawers, god damn it. Yeah, they were experiencing some pretty interesting stuff when the constable actually came after the call. Chairs were moving and the constable had actually checked it out to see if they could figure out like the cause of it. And she did say, she was like, I have no idea how that worked. Like she could not figure out how the chair moved. No one was
the
near it.
magnets under the floorboards.
Yeah. Margaret's under the basement, like sliding chairs around. She's like, where'd Margaret go?
And then she flipped it and pushed it and topped it over.
The constable did also say that she heard disembodied voices, loud noises, thrown toys, and she did witness the children levitating. She believed that the children were levitating.
Okay.
Mm.
I was gonna say like
The constable, the third party person that came in, did believe the children were actually levitating. She didn't see any weird foul play or strings or like anything weird. She saw the children
Chris
levitating.
Angel mind freak.
She did. Margaret went, I'll show you something cool. And then she took her shirt off and she was ripped.
Mind
And then
freak.
she made a glove. Like, fuck off. Later on, more people had confirmed that had seen and heard weird things over a period of a year and a half. Neighbors, psychic researchers, journalists, they all had come into the house to see what everyone was talking about, and they did all confirm the same thing. They saw objects being thrown around, they heard knocking noises, deep voices, everything that you would never want to walk into. So I don't know why they all thought that was a good idea. Later on, when Loraine and Ed had come in, they collected a lot of research, but they didn't know what the fuck to do. In the movies, Ed and Loraine seemed like these type of people that would like come in and instantly solve cases, but they were just not that kind of people. They would like collect their evidence and then they would be like, time to head out. Like they wouldn't actually help these people.
Like we're gonna write a story about this.
Basically, yeah. That was like
And
all they did.
They're
good
like,
luck.
tell us
'cause
more.
Your house sucks.
Okay, bye.
Cleanse the demons with
Good
fire.
luck.
That's all I can
Fire.
recommend.
They're like, become Catholic. Fuck you. And then they left.
Might as well collect that insurance check. Just burn it to the
There you
Like
go.
demons.
Demons. I have never heard of those. Goodbye.
ground. Gotta take away their cabinets and drawers.
So later on, they did have paranormal investigators come in to take a look at this specific case. They had noted that Janet, when she was talking in this like deep voice, her lips barely moved at all, as if it wasn't even coming from her, which would be very difficult if you were doing a voice like that.
Very creep.
He also stated that a remote control camera, like a still camera, was present in the room, but it timed a picture for every 15 seconds. The investigator was trying to catch the girls doing these things or like fucking with them. Like they were trying to see if the girls were actually faking it. They weren't able to actually catch anything other than Janet levitating in the middle of her bedroom. I will show you
No.
the picture. I don't know if I would consider it levitating, but it is weird looking.
I love how
Okay.
casual that was. Like, I just got a picture of her levitating. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, I don't
As you do.
know. The little girl stayed out of the room, but she was just fucking hanging
She
out
was just
in the
hanging
air.
out. She was just chilling.
It's just
No.
chilling in her like
That's normal.
imaginary
That's
hammock.
normal 9-year-old shit, you know.
Yeah.
So, here are some of the claims that people have made against Enfield. The skeptics have argued that the poltergeist voice that originated from Janet could have been produced by like false vocal cords above your larynx. because like the demon
Some kind of
voice.
like freak mutation. Just got twin vocal
Yeah.
cords.
The only thing that kind of backed this up is that the demon would speak in her vocabulary and like a child's words. It wouldn't speak it didn't talk like an adult. It didn't talk like it had an adult
Oh, it acted.
language.
Okay, yeah. It was still just talking like a child, or it's like, you're not very smart, are you?
You're not a 32-year-old demon.
And again, maybe the ghost was old enough. That's all he really had.
Yeah, and that's the
You
thing is
never
I think a
know.
lot of people they didn't know what to do about this, but eventually they had like kept doing recordings of these kids trying to catch more and more, like done a bunch of research to see if it was a hoax. Obviously no one knows today if it was a hoax or not. Both of them had grown up and lived normal lives, but I can't imagine what that would do as a kid. Even if your kids are faking it or they knew they were faking it, I'm sure that still changes their lives forever. They will always be known as those people.
Always be known as demon children, quite literally.
Yeah. The pause there is I
Very
linked to them
weird.
the voice of I believe that's Janet talking in the poltergeist voice. It's weird. It's definitely strange. Even if it is her actually doing it, what a commitment it is to keep
Yeah.
that going for them.
Right?
Even if she was faking it, I can't imagine how hard that would be to keep up for that long.
Yeah.
As a kid?
I mean, think of all the attention you're getting, though.
Yeah, that's true. As a person that was, 9 years old at one point, I didn't keep anything up for that long. I was too fucking. My attention span was
Yeah,
zero.
honestly.
Like,
Yeah.
to keep pretending that for that long, that's a long time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But they had gone on to go and explore a couple of other cases. If you look up Ed and Loraine Warren, they collected a bunch of artifacts and memorabilia of all the places they went to. One of the biggest ones being Annabelle, which Annabelle, I'm sure you both have heard of. You probably have not watched the movie, but at least you've heard of the doll.
Yeah, Annabelle's popped up
It's
before.
creepy.
Well, the doll in the movie is not what the doll actually looks like.
Oh, I would
No.
hope
The
not. What kid would want that around?
No way.
Well, the doll was actually not given to a kid.
Oh.
The
Oh.
doll was given to a nurse
Oh.
that was like older than us. Annabelle is actually a Raggedy Ann doll.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, no, you know.
Did you know that?
No, I did not know that. That's funny because I
Yes.
had a Raggedy Ann doll as a kid.
I did too. Yeah, Annabelle is not a porcelain, creepy-looking doll. It's a Raggedy Ann doll.
I guess, yeah, they probably would have had a hard time putting that in the movie, wouldn't they?
Copyright and all
I
that.
mean, copyright.
Can you imagine?
Yeah,
You
but
probably
also
ruin
just-
that image forever for kids.
Well, you
Yeah.
ruin the image forever, and also it's just not that terrifying. Where porcelain dolls are kind of just creepy and
yeah, inherently creepy.
Here,
for
I'll
sure.
show you. This is what Annabelle looks like in the movie.
Yeah,
It almost
terrifying.
looks like a ventriloquism doll.
But in real life, yeah, she's just a
Why
normal.
does she have the mouth lines? It's just like
She looks like a Chucky,
yeah, it's like
yeah,
it's like between Chucky and a fucking
like Tiffany. It looks like
Yeah.
if Tiffany and Chucky had a kid.
gross.
Yeah, really.
But she does not look anything like this. She's just a normal Raggedy Ann doll. This is what she looks like. I like how this picture says warning: positively do not. It doesn't say do not touch, do not open. It just says positively.
I'm not
do
gonna lie, I
not.
kind of want a shirt that just says that. Positively do not.
Oh my god. But yes, Annabelle is not what everyone expects. I feel like that was something that had gone on for a long time. Probably because the movie portrayed her that way. People didn't realize what it was. They were just thought it was some creepy ass porcelain doll, which porcelain dolls are creepy as fuck, but
Yeah. Just weird.
Why did I have as a kid? I'll never know why.
Annabelle is housed in the Occult Museum of Ed and Loraine Warren. I believe their museum is in Connecticut.
Road trip.
Oh hell no.
You tell us
Yeah,
all
you
the
went
stuff
to
about
the
them, and then you're like, I don't want to go visit that.
Also, you're the one
I-
who goes to spooky places.
Yeah, exactly. You just went to that
It's
museum up
different.
in Georgia, and they have like all that memorabilia
It's different.
and stuff.
There's even I won't go to the Zach Baggins Museum in
Well,
Las
I
Vegas.
mean, that makes sense.
She's like, well, yeah, it's Zach Baggins.
Zach Baggins, exactly.
Okay, the Warrens Museum is in Monroe, Connecticut. So if I do ever go to Connecticut, which I was born in Connecticut, you're from Connecticut, it probably wouldn't be that hard to go. Well, you're not from
I was
Connecticut.
like,
but
my
your
mom
par-
is.
Your mom's
Yeah, I was
from
like,
Connecticut,
great.
but it wouldn't be that far off. Your family is from Connecticut, so it wouldn't be that far
I
off
got
to go.
connections.
Yeah.
I know some
well,
people don't.
you've been to Connecticut at least a couple times since we've been friends.
Yeah.
I would say.
I also
So
drank myself to sleep while I was there because my family's fucking insane. But you know, it's fine.
That's just
fine.
family. It's fine.
It's fine. But yes, so the
Anyways.
Warrens had talked about that Annabelle was given to a student nurse in 1970, and the nurse had reported a lot of weird things about the doll. The psychic medium actually told the student that received Annabelle that the doll was actually inhabited by the spirit of a deceased girl named Annabelle, which way to make it into a Raggedy Ann doll
Right?
and also be named Annabelle. The student and the roommate of the student tried to kind of nurture the doll and keep it in their lives because they felt bad if that was a real thing. They didn't want to be like, well, fuck this doll. They wanted to be like, well, let's make the doll feel at home,
Mhm.
which was a terrible idea because it only got worse.
The demon's like, I'm in.
Yep.
Got it.
At this point, the Warrens said that when they were first contacted about the doll, it was doing very aggressive things. It started writing, it started moving, all of the things that you wouldn't want it to do.
Raggedy Ann, no.
Wow, these baby alive dolls have really come so far.
Yeah, really.
And I didn't even pay the money for it. But yeah, so the Warrens eventually were contacted about them, and the Warrens were like, well, let me just take it off your hands then, so you don't have to worry about it, and brought it to Monroe, Connecticut, and it sits there in a glass case so that no one will fucking touch it.
They've never just like shown up and the glass was broken out.
No.
So just like
Have you
punched through.
have you heard of that doll in Florida that did that? There's a doll that's contained in Key West. I can't remember the name of
broke
it.
the glass outwards.
It broke the glass, yeah, like in the
Oh.
museum that it's
Did
in.
it
I
have,
can't
like,
remember the name.
little cuts on its hand from where it
No.
punched down. It's just bleeding a little bit.
Oh, here it
just
is.
like-
There you go. I just found it. It's Robert the Doll. This is Robert the Doll, and it's in Florida.
Oh, of course it's in Florida.
Do you see it?
Florida doll. They've been reporting in.
This is Robert.
We
the
don't need
Doll.
that in Florida. Florida's already fucked. We
Throw
don't
it
need
into
that.
the ocean.
It says that most skeptics have dismissed the Warrens Museum as full of off-the-shelf Halloween junk, dolls and toys, books you can buy at any bookstore. Annabelle legend itself is an interesting case in the relationship between pop culture and paranormal folklore, and speculates that the demonic doll trope popularized by films such as Child's Play, Dolly Dearest, and The Conjuring probably led to people believing in like haunted dolls. Which makes sense. Chucky was huge.
Mhm.
Yeah, people really like some Chucky.
Yeah.
But Robert the Doll is another doll.
Where's Robert the Doll's movie?
So if you want to visit the museum, you can. They were on many different TV shows, Ed and Loraine Warren, and TV appearances to talk about their experiences. You can find most of them on YouTube. They're both interesting people. If you compare like the Conjuring couple of Ed and Loraine Warren and the real life Ed and Loraine Warren, not the same.
Okay.
In the movie, they're like portrayed to be like super romantic and lovely. Let me see. What is that guy's name?
I can really only see them being romantic. It's like,
The power
doll's
couple.
really setting the mood tonight, honey. Like,
It's Vera Farmiga. That's who
it's
plays.
that dude from
And
The
Patrick
Watchmen.
Wilson. Yeah, and Patrick Wilson. They play them in the movies.
Oh, okay.
That lady.
Yeah, Vera
Oh.
Farmiga.
Oh yeah, her sisters and all the American Horror Story stuff.
Yep. And then that's actual
Oh, is
Lorraine
she?
Warren.
It's like the
Yeah.
daughter in the first season.
Violet.
Oh.
She's got a
That's what
sister
she-
that is
okay.
like half her age, so
Oh, okay.
Literally almost exactly half her age.
Interesting. Okay.
There's a ton of stories and other things I could get into, but I would go on forever. Maybe one day we'll actually go to the museum. I don't know. I don't know if I would be up for that, but we could definitely look at it if we're ever in Connecticut.
If I ever make it down to Key West, keep an eye out for Robert.
Oh, hell no.
I'll be like, "What up?"
hey,
That doll has a lot
photo
worse
up.
stories involving.
I'll
Let's
be like
give him this
drunk
glass
and I'll
shard
be like,
and see
"What's
what
up,
he
Robert?"
But that's them. They lived a good chunk of their lives. I think it was like from their 20s on. They were doing paranormal investigations and collecting like artifacts and stuff from the people they visited.
Simpler
But
time.
they lived very, very full lives. I mean, she was literally in her 90s when she died, so
That's a long life.
Damn.
I guess she survived all of the demonic things.
Yeah.
Maybe
Most-
when she like crosses over, they'll be like, "Mad respect."
Right this way, madame.
Top tier.
Like, we
Dealt with the
remember
best
you.
of us.
You help me get to the other side. Up top. Well, that's all I got for you guys. What do you guys got for me?
Okay. Alright, I can kick us off. Some exciting gaming news. Woo. Appreciate the fanfare, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyways, I might be talking about a dead video game series. I don't know if anyone remembers Bioshock.
I have a Big Daddy framed at my work desk. So.
I know we both love Big Daddy. It's okay.
Keep a picture of Eric at work.
Yikes! That's for Angel later. She's gonna laugh real hard at that one.
Oh, man.
There might be mild spoilers if anyone hasn't played Bioshock and is interested.
Okay, it's
in
been
picking
many
it.
years.
I mean, the game's been out for like what, 14 years now? Like the first
The
one at
last
least.
one's been out for like 10 years.
Yeah.
we say on the podcast, like, Angel's given me so many Dragon Age spoilers, but at the end of the day, it's like, okay, listen, if you haven't played this game by now, don't be mad that it's spoiled.
It's not gonna be like
You're
hardcore
like-
spoilers, but it ties into like some of the games. I don't know.
At
Whatever.
this point, you're like console generations behind. It's just like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Anyways, I still love Bioshock very much. I have to say Bioshock 2 is probably my favorite. Unpopular opinion here. Most
Yeah, I would
people
say that's-
hate
that's
Bioshock
very-
2.
That is
I
very
know, it's
unpopular
bold.
opinion.
Bold and brash.
It goes in the trash.
No! The story of Bioshock 2 is so good. Anyways, who doesn't want to play as a Big Daddy? So anyways, I found this on Game Rant.
Okay, cool.
It's written by Charlie Stewart. Want to give proper credits here. So Bioshock 4 is in development.
Oh, I didn't know
It's
that.
being developed by Cloud Chamber Studio. They were set up by 2K specifically for this game. Whole studio devoted just to this doggone game. Let's hope it's
Ooh.
good.
Which is awesome.
That studio's riding on the hope that this game sells well. Otherwise, it's
Yeah,
like,
they're like, maybe we can capture.
yes, it's well, you got one, guys.
There are no plot details yet, so nothing too juicy. There's like a lot of speculation to see what kind of twists are gonna be in this game. If there's any like good narratives, because the other
Twists and
games
turns.
have had like pretty strong narratives throughout and some big plot twists and all that. They expect the game to possibly tie into previous games or just be entirely like self-contained, like a whole new thing. Although Infinite does reference and does go back into the first Bioshock.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see if this ties into that or not. And then from the article, this quote, it says many fans expect Bioshock 4 to follow the Lighthouse Man City formula Elizabeth talks about. I really appreciate that. Just like Lighthouse Man City. Because I'm like, oh my god, you're
That's
right.
I mean, that would be interesting
Yeah,
to follow that again, and like it worked.
it did. Obviously, it worked for all the games. They are curious if the game will expand upon the Bioshock multiverse theory, which I did not realize because, bad Bioshock fan here, but I never finished Infinite. So let this be a lesson. Level up all of your plasmids and stuff before you make it to the final boss because
You're
fucked. I could never get past all the stuff. It's been a while since I played Infinite.
It's been a while.
The
for me,
president
too.
guys that come after you with like the big guns.
Yeah,
I could not get past them. There's just so many of them.
because you
And I
hadn't
was
leveled
like,
up enough at that point.
I'm not strong enough. But anyways, like there's a whole big multiverse theory in Bioshock that like everyone's connected. You know, Elizabeth is Booker DeWitt's daughter, and like Comstock comes into it, and like Jack Ryan, all these other things. Anyways, yeah, so we're curious to see if that ties.
That ties in later.
I also saw that the series creator Ken Levine is not working on the game, but a lot of the original developers will be.
So a lot of the original developers will be, so it'll probably like have same tones
Yeah.
as the other games, which is the important part.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll carry over as much as they can because if they worked on the other ones, they're gonna want stuff to be in that other.
And there's a lot of like games that don't have the same creative leads in the sequels and stuff, and they still tend to be fine. It just, as long as you keep the tone of the game and the like overarching story the same,
Yeah.
it usually is fine.
I kind of hope the gameplay stays the same too, and like the functions, because I feel like they have a pretty solid setup on how to like control the game and stuff.
I guess we'll see.
see.
Hopefully, when there's more info about the storyline, or maybe a gameplay trailer or something.
Yeah. Bring back Big Daddy.
I wonder how long it would take to create the game. We'll see. But thank you for
They
sharing.
didn't give like an estimated date.
That sucks.
So who knows? Fingers crossed. But they did say like PlayStation 5 or the new Xbox.
Okay, cool.
Hopefully not too far out. But that's all I had for that.
Cross his fingers. Well, thank you for sharing, Olivia.
Thank you for letting me share.
Now David gets to talk about the singular Star Wars.
Okay,
I'm
we're
ready.
here. It's time.
Oh, he's got notes.
I got
He got
I
notes.
got notes, and I don't need them. Get them out of here.
You wrote them.
I did. I do
Threw 'em
need
on
them.
the
I'll pick
ground.
those back. But oh god, where? Okay. So people like Star Wars. That is a thing people enjoy. People who don't are trash. Get them out of here.
I'm keeping in the paper
I
rip.
think it's now uncool to not like Star Wars, and
I
it's cool
know.
to like Star Wars.
It is. There are a lot of people that if someone tells me they've never seen Star Wars, I automatically question where the fuck they've been.
Yeah.
It's kind of like startling. It's like, what do you mean you've never seen even one of them at all?
Yes. Star Wars is coming back with a vengeance. We got Lucasfilm Games
Yeah.
back. They're back, baby. I am so fucking hyped. Because games in Star Wars recently, trash.
Okay,
Get them out of
what
here.
about Fallen Order? That one was pretty decent.
Half trash.
Half trash. I will not
Get it
stand
outta
for this.
here.
Cal Kestis was good.
I mean, it was okay, but they're like Dark Souls,
You're gonna
Star
hate-
Wars.
You're gonna hate on Cal and BD? How dare you?
I mean, eh.
They even
Fallen
they
Order
go
was
back. They come
good.
back to the Clone Wars in that game. Come
It's
on,
not
man.
bad. It's not bad. But
I-
Battlefront.
It's not the same.
Trash.
Yeah,
Opinion,
it's not
trash.
the same. It's not the same. You're correct.
It's
Like,
not like the olden days. Let me tell you a story. Let me bring you back. Little 10-year-old David popping on his Xbox for the first time.
Ooh, I'm judging
What does
the
he sit
Xbox.
down with on his Christmas day? He sits down. Get this trash out of here.
just so
sits-
everyone knows, there's paper all over
Yeah,
the
you
floor.
proceeded to throw so much paper on the ground, babe.
Yeah, I know. But 10-year-old me sitting down, popping in Knights of the Old Republic. Good shit.
Oh, I played that game
Guess
so much.
what? That's in the news today.
Oh,
There's
I
to
can't
be there
wait.
be
Wow.
rumors of floating around of a possible KOTOR remake and or story coming out, being told it's coming real canon. It's happening, folks.
That's
We're
exciting.
going back to the Old Republic.
That's exciting though, because I played that game a lot as a kid too.
I played the ever-loving shit out of it. Like, that's probably one of the first games I actually beat. And, like, I had it. Like, I owned it. It came out, and I was like, Dad, I want this. I want this thing. And he's like, cool, son, I'll get that for you. I told
The
him the
top
different
nostalgia
name
factor.
to the game, and he went to, like, every video game store and didn't find it because I was a dumb kid and didn't know what names.
You said the
Aw.
wrong name,
Yeah, it was like,
and he was like to asking people like, "It's this game," and they were like, "What is
yeah,
that?"
exactly. They're like, you're fucking what? But it's coming back, and people should be hyped because, you know.
That is exciting.
Well, the thing is,
It's a
the
nostalgia
big
factor.
news that like wasn't expected came out of nowhere is that EA no longer has exclusive rights to Star Wars games. They've
Thank
had,
God.
yeah, exactly. They've
Which
had,
will open a whole new
they've
world.
had it for like 8 years or some shit now, and it's like, what have we gotten out of that? We've gotten Battlefront. We got Battlefront 2.
Battlefront's
Yeah.
pretty good though.
I mean,
suck
it
at it.
didn't start good. It had a rough start.
Okay,
Yeah,
fair.
it had a
Very
really
rough
rough
start.
Fair.
They made it good after enough people were like, "We gave you a lot of money, motherfuckers. Like,
Like,
fix
you
our
better
shit."
straighten this
And
up.
they were like, "All right, calm down." Fallen Order, good because it wasn't done exclusively by EA. They
EA,
did
yeah.
Respawn, who made like Titanfall and other good shooters.
Which is why it was as good as
yeah,
it was.
they're like, all right, well, we can't just do the same shooter again. We got to involve some Dark Souls, Metroidvania kind of elements, and it was like, okay. But these are just, games. You have like a basic story. You're doing things like you're shooting stuff, multiplayer. We're talking open world RPGs here.
Which is what the Star Wars fans want.
This
Yes.
is what we've been needing since KOTOR. We're in a 16-year drought.
Is this not going to be like Star Wars Galaxies?
Oh, well, I mean, they have had MMOs. I was there for that too. God, I spent too many hours in that fucking game. But it's not quite the
It's not
same.
the
It's
same.
not the same. Yeah, MMOs.
I was just curious because if it's gonna be
I
like
mean,
open world, I'm like,
they are
God, it's pretty open
RPGs. They
world.
have a big area. They got a ton of quests, but it's just like having all the extra people. It takes away from like that open world experience. Like I want that
The
like
intimate
that
experience.
Skyrim experience. You know
Yeah,
the
but with Star Wars.
yeah, exactly. I want to be able to do what I want to do, not have to worry about some asshole fucking killing all the spawns, and people just selling all the best stuff for like a gajillion dollars on the fucking market. I just
Yeah.
want to like have to experience the game and do things and enjoy myself and get immersed in a world. And it's just like, yes, let me just get into this. I'm gonna hang out in the cantina, hear that band, boop 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 boop. boop.
Well, hopefully that'll happen with the new change.
Yeah.
Yep, so we got that. I mean, there are like a couple things announced. Like EA does have another shooter because they're about good for nothing. They still can make games, they just don't have exclusive rights. There is a Ubisoft one that has been announced, and people are kind of excited about that because Ubisoft has been doing the whole like open world game thing
Yeah.
for a while, but there are still skeptics in the world, and they're like, "Oh, but it's Star Wars. Like they only ever do one place." Where it's like Odyssey was like,
Yeah.
ancient Greece and some islands. It's like Star Wars has an issue where each planet is like Tatooine. What is Tatooine? It's all a desert.
That's
We
it.
only have deserts here.
That's all you get.
They're like Naboo, we got forest and waterfalls. That's all that exists here. No ice caps, just forest.
Oh, you got the
Forest.
Gungans under the water though.
Yeah, we got like the mud people, but just forest.
Overall.
But then what's Endor?
Exactly. That's another
Forest.
forest world.
That's
We
it.
got Redwood World.
Redwood.
And then
With
like
little teddy bears running.
then we got Hoth. It's Ice World. Like people were scared that like they couldn't build a big enough open world game.
Because they were scared that it would be all too like
Well, they didn't want it to be just one world, and then people were like, "Oh, but then if they make a bunch of worlds, then you don't get as much." It's like, yeah, but you can still make decent sized maps and have like stories that go with that
Yeah.
planet. Like KOTOR did that shit. Like it's not that fucking
you
complicated.
can link them all.
You can still link them. Have like Fallen Order did it too. Those are like actually pretty hefty maps. Like I did shit on it a little bit, but like the only thing that annoyed me about that was needing to like I got force push. Now I go back 4 planets and open up one door for a lightsaber part.
Yeah, you're like, this is
Like
so ridiculous.
I have to fight through the whole map to get it, but
You're like, what a waste.
yeah, but I mean
Yeah.
like they're still capable of building big worlds and like having plenty of things to
Connecting all
do.
of them
Like
together.
you might not get the size that you're expecting on each planet, but at the same time, if it was gonna be one planet anyways, it's not like they're gonna show the whole fucking planet anyways, people. Like why bitch about things like that? We don't need that. But I mean, hopefully, since it is Ubisoft and like all their properties, they try to do some like cookie cutter things because
Yeah.
they make so many games. So it's like hopefully they don't have fucking like sync points or like the towers from Far Cry and like Assassin's Creed. It's like, ooh, let me
Yeah.
look around. Ooh, I see everything. Then they always do like the side quests that you have to do the main quest. That kind of is annoying. Not a big deal. And then, like, all the last couple Assassin's Creeds, it's like, yes, we have this big open world. I better put 1,000,000 question marks on it. It's like, oh, look, a lizard. Check that one off. Oh, yes, this rock looks like boobs. Yes, check
Got it.
it. Yeah, all right. And they like to throw in unnecessary things. Like in Assassin's Creed, it was always some, like, historic person. It was gonna like,
Yeah.
they're in Italy. Da Vinci.
Yeah.
Ah.
And you're like, why do we have to have him?
And it was, yeah, and then like Odyssey, there's like Socrates.
Yeah, and it's like, again, why is he here? They're trying to like bring more
Yeah, I mean they.
to the game,
Yeah,
but
that's like that was the whole shtick initially, and it's like, all right, fair
well,
enough.
that's probably what they would probably
yeah,
do. In Star
they
Wars
were-
games,
yeah.
they'd be like, guess what? It's Rey.
Yeah, and then
Guess what? It's Kylo.
exactly, and it's just like, well, we don't need those people. You can have a good story and not have it, which is why I'm more rooting for the KOTOR reboot because it's like it removes itself from the Skywalker saga.
Yes.
That was
Something
why
not
I
to do
liked
with the
it.
Skywalkers.
That was like a big thing when I was a kid. It was just like, oh, this has nothing to do with any of that. That's just other shit in the Star Wars universe. Like I'm the kind of nerd that grew up like reading the books and like
Yeah.
novels and stuff. Even that shit was based around the fucking Skywalkers forever. It's just like, oh shit, we have 3 movies and nothing else. Write what happens after the movie. They're like, yeah, that sounds good. What is Luke doing in 40 years? He's still fucking up. All right, cool. No.
It's like we do not need the Star Wars universe is so large that you don't need to keep writing about the same
There's
fucking
just
Yeah,
so
it's
things
many
like
over and
characters
over
out there.
again.
It's
There's a
insane.
goddamn
Like,
galaxy of
please.
people, right? More people.
I think we know well enough what the Skywalkers are up to.
Yeah,
and
we
what
can
they're
branch
gonna
out a
do.
little farther.
Like I would be pissed if they're like, this guy, he was a Skywalker like 3,000 years ago. Ooh. Plus with KOTOR, they had some other elements that were like things I enjoyed in other games as well. Like essentially the reason people think KOTOR is happening is because a company called, I think it's Aspyr? I don't know. It's ASPYR. They hired a bunch of BioWare people. So that's a big tell. They
yeah.
said they're working on an existing IP. It's like, something that's already a Star Wars thing. And they are the people who ported KOTOR to like cell phones, and they did like the ports for some of the old Jedi Knight series to like the Switch and whatnot.
Okay.
So it's like all leading in this direction
Of like,
what else would this
old
be
Star
for?
Wars stuff, you say? You're hiring people who worked on the Old Republic. Indeed.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so we got things to look forward to. And
That's exciting.
what does Disney like to do when they have something that works? Like, what if they make a good KOTOR video game?
Then it would actually get a lot of hype and
But then they're going to be like, how do we squeeze more money out of this?
Yeah.
Shows, movies.
Yeah.
Let's flesh out Revan some more. The people loved him with the big reveal 17 years
I'm really
ago.
surprised they don't
exactly.
do more of Revan. He's such a fan favorite.
I know. It's just like they well, all right. And let's be fair, they do it in the MMO, but not everybody's got that kind of time or money or patience. Like I read the lore online because it's like I can't play this game like 60 hours a week when I have a job and responsibilities. Sorry, I'm not that kind of nerd anymore. When I was a teenager, maybe.
I can't do it.
Yeah, exactly. But anyways, good stuff in the future. Mandalorian was solid. Clone Wars was solid. Filoni be on a roll. Maybe they'll get fucking back on point with video games now that EA doesn't have all of it.
They should just hand Star Wars to Dave Filoni and be like, here you go.
Please,
Him
sir.
and Jon Favreau.
Can one more, sir?
Please.
Anything you got. Give me another Star Wars.
One Star Wars, please.
Anyways, yep.
Well, thank you both for sharing. That's exciting. I'm glad that we got to like still be in the gaming news realm, but bring like a different perspective from both of you. So thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Because gaming news, we try not to have it be repetitive, but it's kind of hard when you're doing it literally every week or now bi-weekly, because we keep touching on the same things over and over again because those are the stories that are going on, like Fortnite. And there's something every week about Fortnite. There's something every week about Call of Duty.
The kids still.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh my god,
man,
the
I made
kids.
such a mess.
So obsessed with Fortnite.
Dude has now seen his paper mess.
Production value.
Production value.
So, thank you all for listening, and thank you, David and Olivia, for joining me today.
Thank you for having us.
I'll be back whenever you want.
Yeah, we can definitely do this again. Send your well wishes to Angel, and thank David and Olivia for joining us. I will try and make like a little thing for both of them on our website. David doesn't have social media, so I can't link anything.
He's a man of mystery.
But he does sometimes join. You used to join me on streams, so maybe you'll be in a future stream.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And Olivia too.
Yeah.
You'll see me sucking at video games.
If you ever see Nom Zom, that's me.
Yeah.
About all you're gonna get out of me. So.
Yeah, that's about it. And follow Olivia's Instagram at Olivia's_oddities on Instagram. If you basically search ghoulgaminggals on anything, you can find us on Instagram at ghoulgaminggals.podcast. If you go on our website at ghoulgaminggals.com.
Now smash that like button. ring the bell. Hit them 5 stars. And get up there.
But definitely take a look at our website and look at all the wonderful things that we have there. Angel works super hard on our blog post. You can see pictures from every episode
It is
too.
extensive.
Yes.
It is expensive, exactly.
She's writing a report every show. There is a writing
Her
component.
devotion is impressive.
Yes. She does. She makes amazing blog posts, but also you can see pictures from today. So you can see Annabelle, and you can see the Enfield Poltergeist, and you can see, I guess,
You're gonna see more
of
of your stuff, I guess,
Yeah.
and then our stuff. I could take a picture of my notes.
the Star Wars.
The Star
Just
Wars.
a Star Wars. And then a Big Daddy. That's it.
Yes.
But join us next time, and I hope everyone has a good rest of your week by the time that you listen to this, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye.